Hey everyone, this is Dragonro. Welcome to Tricks and Tips Thursday. In this video, I'll be covering everything you need to know about Shire and Heroes of the Storm. Let's start with the layout and the objectives of this map. The Shire features 3 lanes which are close together, with pathing linking one lane to another. This allows heroes to quickly change lanes, promote, gank, and rotate. The map objectives are 2 capturable shrines and the dragon altar in the middle lane. The top lane features one of the 2 shrines, which is located above the lane. There are bushes on either side of the shrine, allowing players to access it from both sides. Below the lane, there are 2 sets of bushes that eventually lead down to the middle lane. The middle lane has the Dragonite altar. Below the middle lane, there's a section of bushes leading to both team siege camps as well as the bottom lane. The bottom lane has the second shrine, which is located below the lane. There's also a bruiser camp below the shrine. The main objective on Shire revolves around taking control of the Dragonite. The Dragonite is a powerful player-controlled character with its own set of abilities. Although its main purpose is to destroy enemy structures, it can still wreak havoc in a team fight. To unleash the Dragonite, a team must capture the 2 shrines, one in the top lane and the other in the bottom lane. When one team holds both shrines at the same time, a hero on that team can channel the statue in the middle lane to take control of the Dragonite for a set amount of time. Around 40 seconds after the game starts, a 30-second warning will appear, at the end of which the shrines will become active and capturable. Each shrine can be one of 3 states. Yellow shrines are not controlled by either team, and they are effectively neutral. Blue shrines are controlled by your team, and red shrines are controlled by the enemy team. To capture a neutral shrine, the player must stand uncontested within the shrine's radius for 4 seconds, while a shrine belonging to the enemy takes 8. However, any progress made towards capturing a shrine will be reset if not completed. The shrine will also become locked if there's an enemy hero with you. The shrine only checks if there are any allies on the shrine and if there are any enemies on the same shrine. Multiple heroes from each team do not affect the capture time of the shrines. It takes 3 seconds to channel the statue, and any damage taken will interrupt and reset the channel. Once the Dragonite is awoken, the player who channeled it is temporarily turned into the Dragonite, losing access to the hero for that duration. The Dragonite lasts for at least 40 seconds, after which it expires. Shrines will become inactive and the Dragonite will stay on the battlefield until it is killed, times out, or the hero piloting it uses the Leave Dragon ability. The Dragonite powers grows as the game progresses, leading it to have increased damage, health, and duration. This means that later Dragonites will become much more important and deadly as time goes on. The Dragonite has 4 abilities that can be used. Always use his first ability, Flame Breath, whenever it is available. His second ability, Savage Charge, can temporarily remove an enemy from a team fight. Use it on priority targets like a healer or even a tank. Savage Charge should not be used for its damage, as you will usually just save an enemy by kicking them away. You will never want to use Leave Dragon except in very specific circumstances. Rubble Maker allows the Dragonite to become a powerful siege engine, essentially enticing you to use it to destroy buildings rather than killing players. Even though the Dragonite takes half damage from forts and keeps, it is generally favorable to have minions take the hits, as the slow from the forts and keeps will significantly reduce your damage. Now let's talk about strategies that can be used on the map. The way most people play this map is simply have 2 people in both the top and bottom lanes, while one person holds a middle lane. The person in the middle lane should be someone that can solo hold a lane by themselves while dishing out damage like Raynor. Use the time before the shrines activate to juggle your team around in the lanes to best match them up against your opponents. If you capture the Dragonite, it's usually best to push with it and your whole team to whatever is the weakest lane at the moment. Usually you push the middle lane on the first Dragonite since it's closer. Another strategy you can use is by splitting your heroes up to go 1 top, 1 middle, and 3 bottom. This is obviously not always possible based on your team's composition, but it's a very normal strategy. The top lane does not have a mercenary camp by the shrine, while the bottom lane does. In addition, the bottom lane has easier access to 2 mercenary camps than the top lane does. Therefore, it is best to try and overpower the bottom lane and then maintain lane control. You want the enemy team to be pushed behind their towers, unable to adequately clear your minion waves while your team secure objectives, like the shrine, siege camp, and if you're really ahead, their siege camp or the bruiser camp. Doing so will further amplify your ability to siege the enemy, or at the very least give your team time to pressure another lane while the enemy is stuck clearing your mercenaries. Now let's get to the big question, how does one use the Dragonite? The Dragonite should almost always be used to destroy the enemy's buildings, rather than against heroes in a team fight, as it brings little combat effectiveness. If you manage to get the first Dragonite, you should use it to destroy the outer towers in each lane, as it will die far too quickly to successfully siege a fort. For subsequent Dragonites, it is generally best to have your team group up and push down one lane with the Dragonite. When sieging enemy buildings with the Dragonite, target the 2 outer towers first, followed by the gate, the well, and then the fort or keep. Use Flame Breath as it becomes available. If the enemy's heroes are playing defensively, use Savage Charge on nearby heroes, but be wary of using it on distant enemies, as doing so could cause you to overextend with the Dragonite and take significant unneeded damage. If the enemy heroes are playing aggressively, say Savage Charge until you're able to kick away key enemy heroes. If you have just taken control of the Dragonite and your allies are dead, assess if you're able to siege the enemy. If you're not able to, without dying or taking significant damage, it is almost always better to wait for your allies to respawn. However, it sometimes can still be a good idea to siege the enemy bases with the Dragon Knight if you have dead allies. Especially in the late game around level 20, the Dragon Knight becomes extremely strong to the point where it can very easily destroy cores and keeps by itself. Then the enemy heroes will either stay and destroy some of your base while you destroy theirs, or they will pursue you to keep you from destroying their base, thereby preserving yours. So let's wrap it all up by summarizing it. Your main objective is to prevent the enemy team from unleashing the Dragon Knight and getting your own. The shrines will begin to spawn shortly after 40 seconds in the game and will give a 30-second warning. Once the Dragon Knight dies or times out, it will take 2 minutes until the shrines reactivate. It takes 8 seconds to capture an enemy shrine and 4 seconds to capture a neutral shrine. It takes 3 seconds to channel the Dragon Knight. Use early game Dragon Knights to destroy the outer towers of each lane before destroying the forts. The Dragon Knight should be used to destroy buildings, not to teamfight. If you must teamfight, use Savage Kick to kick away key enemies, preferably over walls. Once you're around level 20, the Dragon Knight can easily solo kill the enemy core. With the lanes so close together, always be on the lookout for ganks from other lanes. Do not try to contest the shrines if you're at a disadvantage. Capture mercenary camps whenever possible, but not at the expense of losing experience from lane. If your allies are dead and you just have taken control of the Dragon Knight, it is almost always better to simply wait until your allies have respawned. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got some valuable information. If you have any thoughts or game suggestions, leave a comment below, and I will see you heroes in the next video.